What's going on, everybody? This is Les from Cannabis Wiki. Welcome to another one of Cannabis Wiki cooking shows, Weed Talks and Treats. We're here today with a special guest. We have a Red Seal Culinary chef, Marcel. Marcel, my man.
Nice to meet you, Lester.
Nice to meet you too. What's going on? What do you got going on in the kitchen for us today?
Well, today we're going to do a simple infused breakfast for a Sunday morning.
Sweet.
We'll do some pancakes, teach you how to infuse those if you want to go that way. We're going to make an infused strawberry syrup.
What?
And then we're also going to make some infused butter, so if you want to kick it up a notch.
Okay. Wow. Pancakes, everybody. Pancakes. All right, so let's get it started, my man.
Who doesn't like pancakes?
Right? So the strawberries. Tell me a little bit about the strawberries.
Well, we prefer local produce, so we go to the local farms during normal strawberry season. We slice them up, we freeze them, and then they're ready for whatever we want to make.
Excellent. They look delicious, my friend.
If you choose to not do that, you can go to your local grocery store, buy your sliced frozen strawberries, or you could use fresh strawberries from the grocery store as well.
Excellent. So you got options.
Yeah, and you want about 2 cups worth.
Okay. So what do you got going on here right now?
Well, we have the butter melting on low.
Okay.
We're going to do 2 different things with the butter. We're going to use half for our strawberry sauce, and we're also going to use half to make an infused butter in case we want to bring it up a level.
What? Okay. I like bringing it up. All right. So let's go on. So once the butter melted.
We're going to separate half. So we're going to pour half into our glass measuring cup.
Okay.
We happen to have brought today a cannabis mold because I prefer making everything visible to the people I'm feeding just so they know what they're getting into.
Clarity.
Yeah, clarity.
It's more information.
It looks pretty.
That it does?
I love to advertise the fact that it has cannabis.
So we got like weed leaves here.
Yeah, we got exactly, and they look amazing when they come out because the front actually has a textured surface, so it actually does look like a pot leaf.
Oh, wow.
Those molds can be picked up at your local head shop, or you can order them from Amazon or any other site out there if you choose to go that way.
Okay, sweet. Good to know. So the pancakes. What are we using for the pancakes?
Well, pancakes, I normally like to make pancakes from scratch, so does my wife.
Okay.
But you can make the pancakes with any local mix from any of your local retailers. And then that way it makes your breakfast easy. If you have a long day and you don't want to really get into making pancakes fresh, the mix is just as good, and we'll teach you how to infuse that as well easily.
I'm loving it. All right, so we're going to get into these strawberries once this butter's melted.
Yeah, I just can't wait to add them. I love the smell of butter, sugar, strawberries. I believe in always using butter. There is no substitute for a good product. It gives you the quality, the taste, the flavor that other things do not.
So is there a difference between butter and margarine?
Yes.
Okay.
Butter is all natural. It comes from the milk of a cow. Margarine could be filled with any type of oil. Study that came out the other day on canola oil being one of the highest carcinogenic oils out there, and that's one of the oils used in margarine. I just find the flavor isn't there. Plus, if I'm going to make something infused, it better be quality.
All right.
There's no point in doing something that isn't amazing.
I like it. I really like it. So you just stir it around till the full cube is melted out?
You want to do it on low, because if you get your oil too high, or your butter too high, it'll brown. Or when you add your cannabis oil, it may be high enough to cook out the THC, which is the main purpose of infusing your product.
Right. So this is a fine process here.
It is. Everything in cannabis cooking, nothing can be cooked on high. Everything has to be done slow and low.
Right.
Because you don't want to take the chance, especially with the prices of cannabis oil in Ontario, you don't want to be taking the chance and cooking out your THC, because then the people that were going to enjoy it at this point aren't enjoying it anymore. The flavor's there, but not the bang at the end.
So that's a real important thing, because if it is overcooked, and then you're not getting the medication like you're expecting to get.
Yeah, no, and the medication is what makes your pains go away, makes you feel better. For me, without cannabis, I don't have an appetite at all.
Wow.
Due to my brain tumor way back in the day, but
right, like we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
I understand. So what's going to be the next step that you're going to take once the butter's melted?
I'm going to dump half a cup into the glass measuring cup, and we're going to pour us a few infused butter pots.
I'm loving it.
Those you can use for anything else as well, besides what we're going to use for today. You can use them to make yourself a grilled cheese, anything that uses butter in your KD. whatever,
What? Serious?
whatever suits your lifestyle, right?
Okay.
Because we don't all eat from scratch every day. We know how life is. It's always a rush. And sometimes you got to cook quick.
Yes.
And sometimes you still want to have that added benefit, especially for medical reasons.
So after we infuse the butter, how long is that good for?
If you store it in the freezer, my honest opinion is about 6 months.
Oh, wow.
Online, they'll tell you indefinitely, but I find the THC breaks down or it adds a different flavor.
Okay. So you may notice that after a while,
Yeah.
say after a few months, that the butter's giving off a different...
Yeah, it's so easy to make. You only generally want to make it for your next 2 weeks, 3
Okay.
weeks. Then you can keep it in the fridge.
Okay. So just like everything with edibles, it's micro.
Yeah, everything's micro. Plus, you don't want to make a huge batch of butter and then not use it because then not only have you wasted the butter, you wasted your cannabis oil.
Right.
And we all know that medication is very expensive.
Definitely. So today, what are we going to be using for infusing?
We are going to be using this product from Aurora. It's a Sativa drop, and it comes in 28.7 milligrams per milliliter. So that means every time you add a milliliter, it brings it up 28 milligrams.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So if you wanted to make all of the butter pots, you want to figure out how much. So there's 8 there. If I add 60 milligrams, how many milligrams am I going to have? So you divide that by 8. You're looking roughly in the 7 milligrams,
Okay.
which is good for a beginner.
Right.
But when you get into someone like me, I want at least 100 milligrams in my pot of butter.
Okay.
So our butter is now melted.
Right.
We're going to take the pan off. We're going to dump roughly half a cup of butter. We're going to take our Sativa drops. We're going to open them out of the package. And thanks to Ontario legislation, they are wrapped multiple times.
Oh, yes. It definitely has the seal. Man, I'm so excited to see this.
Oh, I can't wait to eat it with you.
Because I believe this is probably the first time that I will see infusing with the drops.
I prefer to do the new school method. You can make your can of butter at home, but honestly, you don't know if that 1 tablespoon of butter equals 1,000 milligrams, 5 milligrams, 2 milligrams.
Right.
And I find if you do it the old school way as well, it adds, because people don't normally do it properly, it adds that chlorophyll taste. So it adds a bitter weed taste. I don't know about you. I love my weed.
Yeah.
Sorry, cannabis. I'm the, but I don't always like the flavor. And certain things it's great. Like if I'm making a garlic bread that I want a nice taste to, use a Gorilla Glue and get a peppery taste, then it's great. But otherwise, so for this purpose, we're gonna add 1 mil because we want to keep it low because we're going to teach you that you can layer. It doesn't all have to be in the strawberries itself. It could be in the butter. It could be in the actual pancake mix. Anything that you want to do.
Wow.
So we're going to put our strawberries in here as soon as we add our sugar.
Okay.
So we're going to add our sugar. We all know strawberries have a lovely taste, but when you're having pancakes, I don't find the sweetness enough. You want to have that little bit of a sweet caramel taste as well. So we're tossing the sugar around in the butter. Once that gets going, we're going to throw the strawberries in, and then we're going to turn it up a little higher. I don't want to caramelize or crystallize the sugar because I like a smooth strawberry syrup.
Okay.
So we're going to add the strawberries.
Man, this is looking good.
It's like pancake syrup that you would have at your grandma's, but with a little kick.
I'm loving it. The strawberries look they got so much color to them. They look juicy.
They add, when you use fresh strawberries, they add a better flavor. So while that's cooking, we've added our drops, right?
Okay. Yep.
So we're good here. We're going to give it a stir because you want to make sure that it gets properly mixed.
Well mixed.
The oils will combine together. You will not get an issue that way. But if you don't mix it well, you'll have one butter pot that's 28 milligrams and the rest are 1.
Right, right.
So we're going to pour these, and then you can fill them right up to the top, which is about 11 mil in this particular mold.
Okay. So once we finish filling the mold, we put these to chill?
Yeah, we're going to throw them in the fridge for a few minutes because we want them to harden.
Okay.
It's easier to work with hardened butter. And then, like I said, you can use these to infuse absolutely anything at this point that uses butter.
So pretty much we would just pop out a cube and then add it to whatever
Yeah.
we wanted to infuse.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Like I said, it could be as easy as craft dinner or as complex as your own brownie mix.
Right. Well, I'm loving it. You're showing the ease of it. Something quick.
It's simple, and then once you make this batch, which took us, what, maybe 5 minutes, you can put it in the freezer, and like I said, use it for absolutely anything, even your morning toast if you want.
That's crazy. That's super convenient.
It helps those who need medicine on the run,
Yeah.
because not everyone has time to cook gourmet every day or quick. We all know in the world that sometimes even grandma's stuffing isn't grandma's stuffing anymore. It's out of a box because of
Time.
time. Everything is based on time. So we're going to watch our strawberries. Turn them up a bit more to maybe a 4.
Okay.
Like I said, you don't ever want to cook anything on high when it comes to cannabis because you will lose the quality.
And that's what we're trying not to do. We're trying to achieve to keep the medicine inside of the food.
Yeah. And with everything, I suggest that you try the oil, how many milligrams that your body can take,
Right.
before you do anything with it.
Okay.
Because that looks like a little bottle of oil, but to someone who dumps that into a pound of butter and has never had it before,
Right.
you're not going to have the experience you need to have.
Okay. That is very wise advice. That's using drops like this, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
But you could use anything that you can get through your local healthcare provider.
Okay. So is it a lot harder if you were using dried flour and going through the decarboxylation process?
It's not that it's harder, it's just you can't get exact. For me, everything has to be exact in the world that I do because I do a lot of stuff for medical people,
Right.
and they want a certain milligram. I don't want to disappoint or give them too much.
Right.
So when you're making your cannabis butter, you can figure it out roughly. You're buying it from the OCS. They say it has 18% THC. You can put it in your butter, and there's actually a formula where you can roughly figure out,
Right.
but it's not exact. We know that most people that are doing it are using the trim from their legally grown plants, which we can actually do this year.
Right.
And they're making their own. And at that point, you can't judge. So the 1 pound you made before was light and you enjoyed it. This time you double up because your tolerances went higher, and then you realize the pound that you made is 10 times stronger, and you have a bad experience.
Right. I can smell those strawberries kicking in.
Yeah, it's going to turn into like just your general syrup, but with the strawberries added, and we'll have our infusion in there as well.
Colors changing.
Oh yeah. I love how it melts into a soft pink.
It's making me hungry.
Oh, it's one of the best breakfasts, and like I said, you can use it on anything, even if you had a bowl of oatmeal. Whatever suits your lifestyle. And with something like this, you can make it, and you could set it in the fridge for about a week. So you could make on a Sunday morning, you could make your medication. You could even use it on toast if you wanted to.
That's awesome.
But it's all, sorry.
Yeah, so it's just with a little preparation, you could have something always ready for you,
Yeah.
quick and easy.
Yeah. If you're having a bad episode, whether it be epilepsy or whatever you use your medicine for, it's easily available.
Excellent.
And people are more likely to take their medication if it is easily available.
And it tastes good.
Yeah, it does.
All right, so we got our molds out. What's up next?
Well, the strawberries have now cooked down, so they're almost a perfect syrup consistency. For the people that do like it thicker, you can use a cornstarch and water slurry. Just 1 teaspoon of cornstarch to 1 teaspoon of cold water. Mix it together, add it. It will thicken it up to almost a jam texture.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it depends on how you like your stuff. I like it a little syrupy when I put it on the pancakes because I like the runny mess.
The coverage.
Yeah.
I dig it.
And then our butter is now chilled in the fridge. So what we're going to do is we're going to set Lester up with some pancakes and see what he thinks. We have our pre-prepared pancakes. Like I said, you can use anything. You can make your own from scratch, or you can use a mix, whatever you enjoy. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure Lester gets lots of strawberries on here.
I got to say this, man. If you guys could smell what I'm smelling from these strawberries, it is crazy. Wow.
Let it just melt in.
So we got the lovely strawberry sauce on the pancake.
And now we're going to add the butter to add that extra level of kick up. But also, like I said, when you're cooking your pancakes, if you want to use that to butter the pan, just make sure you don't get it too hot because you'll cook your THC out.
Right, so always low.
Always low when it comes to THC because there we are.
Look at that. Look at that.
Like I said, I prefer the cannabis shape because I like people to know what they're eating.
Well, that's wise and very informational. Nothing subliminal here. Everything nice and clear. Marcel, this looks fantastic, my man.
Well, thank you, brother. I hope you enjoy eating it.
I'm about to get my fork into it, so before I do that, this has been Lester from Cannabis Wiki with my man Marcel, cooking in the kitchen with Cannabis Wiki. So stay tuned, keep it locked for more quick meals, breakfast, quick get up with some sativa oil. All right, take it easy, everybody. We'll see you soon. Yo, I know y'all can't make it down here, but this is mad crazy.